The key here, though, underneath what Cole just said, right, is number one, relationships, but number two, something that the relationship can stand on. So when we don't get into the creation mode, that brings us into the doing mode and then becomes the being mode, right? Nothing can happen.
So with media, we're here today for you to manifest that and know what that is. And if it's for your personal brand, your company brand, or just for your persona that you want to fulfill some type of presence in the world. So basically, this is what we're here. We're here to manifest that media attraction and get you really, I guess, to get you,
I would say
planted.
Planted, activated, believing. So key, right? Believing that you can attract the media, right? So some of the media brands that you know of, and Cole and I were talking about this the other day, could be like a Esther Hicks from Abraham Hicks, right? So she is a self-made media brand. At a certain point, yes, of course, we can go into like the Oprahs and the Gales of the world, but we also want to look at Gabrielle Bernstein, like, people who have created, books or podcasts, who also are interesting enough to where the media wants to interview them because they have a voice, they have a message to share. And so that is why yesterday we were really diving into, why are you doing this? Who are you in the media space? Why should you be creating this media persona? And what's going to happen with it when you bring it to market, right? And so sometimes we create from a space of, I'm just going to throw things on the wall and see what sticks. And we're here to tell you that we did that. We threw things on the wall. We saw what stuck. We saw what worked, what didn't work, and we tweaked. And that is why we're able to bring you the formulas for success, right, that we have. And so if you follow along with what we're doing today, you are going to be blessed exponentially, because we are here to quantum leap you into the actual result that you would like to get. And sometimes the brain is going, well, I need to define everything first. But we want you to get into the soulful, pure nothingness space so that you can actually attract whatever it is that you want. So even though we're talking about media, you can really attract anything, right? So these same formulas can be used through so many facets of your life. And so we want you just to open yourself up to that possibility as well today. Yeah.
Remember when, and she brings a very valid point, how we just really created this, I won't say program, but just tools of attracting certain things that we put out in the universe. And one being, I remember just saying, when I developed Cold Skincare for Men, I was like, I want the world to see it. I want the world to see it. I just visualized my name right there. And we did the e-news that came to us.
Very true.
Just out of relationships and me manifesting that. And it was just so seamless. And with that, my name, there was a GoBo and it was on e-news and the world saw it. So it's one of those things is that really, I think sometimes when we put stuff out there and throw it on the wall, we don't know how many legs or avenues or energetic synergies it has. So with that being said, you really have to not worry about the how, just really speak it into existence. And when it shows up, unless you want something particular, you should definitely specify that. But if it's just very general, like I said, I didn't have any particular media format or platform that I wanted it to be broadcasted or I just wanted the world to see it. And it presented to me where it was on a national television show, cable network, and the world saw it. It was global.
Really. The E channel. Exactly. The key here though, underneath what Cole just said, right, is number one, relationships, but number two, something that the relationship can stand on, right? So they were attracted to something that was created that the relationship could stand on, right? So when we don't get into the creation mode, that brings us into the doing mode and then becomes the being mode, right? Nothing can happen. literally. I mean, if she was just saying, hey, I have a skincare line and it's, in the back of my trunk, and I've never spoken to anyone about it, the E! News television crew would not have been interested in working with us, period, right? Even the person that was a personal relationship that said, hey, Neff, how about we get you connected to this athlete who has this TV show? And then that athlete said, I want to do something with your skincare line. That never would have happened if there wasn't something that we said, we're just going to bet on ourselves, right? Like we're throwing it all in, right? We're going to bet on ourselves and make it happen. And we're going to let it show up.
Yes.
So that's the key too. You got to let it show up. So give me some hearts, give me some love. Let us know where you're coming in from. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, even if you joined us yesterday, and let us know, did you do the homework? And even if you were doing the homework while we were live yesterday, that's totally fine. Give us a 1 if you did the homework. Give us a 2 if you are going to do the homework from yesterday today, and then you will jump into today's homework as well when we give that to you. So give me a 2. And then give me some hearts if you are excited about becoming a divine media manifestor, right? And so we did that amazing chant yesterday about being a media manifestor. And we want you to believe that you are, because you are. You really can attract what you need and what you want to your brand and to your business. Today, we have something really exciting for you.
I want to add to
go ahead.
That I know a lot of people are intimidated or shy. And, this whole media thing is kind of like, oh my God, people get a little nervous about it. But that's the way the technology has allowed us to communicate. And that's the way of the future. So if you don't present yourself in a way that you attract a certain audience, and especially if you have your own business or your own personal brand, or you're looking just to do speaking things or present yourself to companies or corporations that you want to be an independent contractor on, you have to hone in and really understand what that is. And that's what we're here today to actually show you how so many things we've had so many people just with the type of premium brand and luxury that we put in, the hard work and every intricate detail of what we did for both brands, Cold Skincare for Men and Single Moms Planet. And people were blown away, and they told somebody else, and people were just knocking down, well, I want this, I want to go to this, and I want to be a part, I want to be honored. And so that's what you want. You want to create a niche of audience. You don't have to impress everybody, but just know and stand firm in what you are believing in your purpose of what you want. And the media will show up once you finish the Divine Media Manifestor training session. Trust me.
Yes.
But we got to clean that mind up.
Literally, we are in this program with you. We're delivering this information. We went back and listened to this. I went back and had things click in my mind about where I've been playing it small or not showing up all the way, or not really truly allowing the space for things to happen, right? Even though we're delivering this work, none of us have arrived. If we've arrived, honey, we're dead. That's what happens. You you're snuffed out at that point. It's like, God's like, okay, she's done. So we're not done yet, right? We're all learning. We're in this session with you. And this session is live. Like we're literally live. So if there's something that you don't understand or you don't get, please communicate it with us, because we're also here jiving and vibing off of your energy and what it is that you need to know right now so that you can get what you need out of this program. Yes. We appreciate your time. We are gifting our time as well. And so we're in a community together to really thrive and grow.
Yes.
And so today we are going to be covering a few things that are going to go into the principles of prosperity. And the first thing that I want us to do before we go too deep is grab your workbook. Okay, so you have your Divine Media Manifestor workbook. We're on day 2. And so go ahead and pull your workbook out and flip to the second day page, because that's going to be really important for what it is that we're creating. Okay. And that page is all about
mining.
Yeah, I had her say it because I was like, I can't pronounce that.
So it's mining. And the reason why it's money, I said money. Mining money. Hey. Okay, so the reason why it's mining is because there are 3 levels of mind and mindset, which is your subconscious. Well, let me go from our present state: conscious, subconscious, and super subconscious, right? So those are things that's pulling out. So your conscious is your reality, and your unconscious is those little voices that you hear in your head. The super subconscious is basically what traditions and beliefs that are embedded that gets you to act a certain way that you never knew why you think the way you do, why you, I guess, move in the world the way you do. And certain things that you do in your conscious will trigger that super subconscious of an emotion, which you never know what that is until you dig deep. So basically, these are all the levels of really mining to really get that principles, those, I guess, reset, shift, regenerate those cells in that DNA. So your super subconscious is always embedded in your DNA. And we know that we can create different genes and reshape our DNA with thought alone. Absolutely. And that's another,
we'll get into that today, though.
Okay.
Because we're taking them through a guided meditation that is going to get to the cellular level as to how you perceive, right? We talked about how I talk to the TV, and Cole can't watch TV with me because I have a lot to say to that television about the stupid things that they're doing. And so we'll go into like why certain people are triggered, why you are creating, even look, who's had a bag of chips and you look down and they're empty and you don't even recall eating them, right? And so even separating the idea that we are our mind or we are our thoughts or that we are our body, right? And so really just kind of releasing a lot of the concepts. And so I'm excited about today because we're going to go into that mining. I hope I'm saying that right.
You are. And the crazy mining. And I will say, just remember those sayings where you go, I'm minding my own business, or she needs to mind her own business. Everything suggested with people outside or outwards in the world is always like minding or mind. So we're thinking a lot in our existence, which carries us to really structure our reality, whether it's good or bad, or it's favorable or unfavorable. So really thinking about what that is. And I said thinking on purpose, thinking about all those levels of minding what actually creates your reality or create resistance or ideas that you want to pursue or anything like that. So you really want to dig deep. This is some really, really,
this is a good reflection exercise. You want to reflect. And yesterday, just in case you're tuning in with us right now, we were talking about falling in, right? And so we wanted you to fall all in first. Like, what does it look like if you're just all in? And we talked about love and how did that feel, that maybe that first or that second or that 20th time that you fell in love, right? Even falling in love with yourself, you just fall all the way in. And then we can take you into this element of the conscious, the unconscious, and the super subconscious, right? And so what we want you to do right now, grab that workbook. If you don't have it, put a comment in the group. Amy, who is here with us right now, she has actually messaged everyone in this group their workbook. So if you don't have it, check your message. That's where Amy's communicating with you. She's going to be guiding you. She's here to support you. She's here to get you everything you need. If after you check your inbox inside of Facebook, just in case you're wondering, and you don't see it, you can actually tap us right here in the message area that you don't have your workbook and go ahead and download that. All right. So grab your notebook, grab your workbook. You can type this in the comments with us. We're going to be flowing through a couple of exercises today to tap into the next level mindset, the next level way of being so that you can attract the media of your dreams. All right. Who's ready? Everybody type in the box. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. Awesome. So grab some water if you need it. If you need to stand up, if you need to lay down, You can, because we're going to be guiding you through a meditation. Okay. And so this is a meditation and it's also like a working exercise. So I don't want you to go into a sleep state. Okay. I want you to stay alert and aware. All right. That's very, very key. Do not start snoring. Right. So I know we cannot hear you through this camera right here, but we're going to feel that snore. So make sure you stay awake. Okay. If you're driving right now and you're listening to this, don't worry. This is not like a fall asleep meditation. Okay. What I am going to invite you into right now is that today we are talking about the principles of prosperity, developing the frequency of energetic flow and brand focus. This guided process will allow you to powerfully step into your desired media persona. Okay. And so the first thing that we're going to talk about is shifting your frequency, right? Your flow, and affirming that. Right. So Cole, you want to tap into a little bit about what that looks like when someone is shifting their frequency, which is, that's so important.
Shifting your frequency is going to feel very uncomfortable. I will say that. And you want to get into that uncomfortable state. And this is where the challenges are faced. This is where you start to recreate and reshape what the ideas and reality that you see or that you think. And the frequency, if you think about frequency, you think about wave, think about sound waves and the frequency of sound waves. So when somebody pitches their voice high, the sound waves go up, and when it's low, it's a low frequency. And those waves are pretty much what we're doing in the universe, because each person has an energetic soul that's connected to the world, the realm, the spirit world, and the realm of the universe. And everything, when you're on a very high frequency, anything that you think and you put out in the universe, whether good or bad, the universe only knows to react. So your frequency gets radio action. So there's an act and there's a react. So when you act upon certain ideas and thoughts, beliefs, traditions, and so forth, you, depending on that frequency level, what that is, you're going to push that out into the universe. So guess what happens? And this is where we talk about the conscious, the unconscious, and the superconscious. The unconscious doesn't know the difference between a thought alone or actually it happening in its present state. So whatever you're thinking, it starts to go into form and then produces itself and shows up in your life. So we are trying to shift that frequency with the principles of prosperity to make sure that you can really, even if you see, we're human. Let's just be real. We're human. We have things that's happening in our life that kind of shifts us this way. But when you start feeding into it and just start creating a story that's not favorable or doesn't move you forward, upward, and onward, you start to create disasters. You start to create traumas, triggers, anything that doesn't work in your favor. And then guess what? This is where your fear comes in. And then you start to lack confidence in things that you're presenting. So we want to make sure when we're shifting, whether it's one side or the other, we want to make sure that we have the tools to make sure we get right back on the right track to attract the things that we want in life.
And that reminds me of Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks, which we brought up a little bit earlier. They have meditations and states of being where they talk about the frequency, riding the frequency, right? And that just reminded me of that. So when you want something to show up, we're going to go into an exercise right now where I want you to write it down, right? So what we're talking about right now is, remember, we're in the world of attracting media, right, to our brand. And so I want you to write down your media goal, not necessarily like, I want to be on CNN. No. What do you want to be known for in the world of media? What do you want the media, journalists, producers, TV shows to actually contact you about, right? So I want to be really clear. What do you want them to contact you about? What do you want to be known for? The number one thing you want to be known for, you are the number one XYZ in the world, right? In your community, in your city, right? Some of us want to have global media. Some of us want local media. Some of us want national media. What type of media do you want to attract? How many eyeballs do you want on you, right? So you can put that in the comments. I want to see it. And Cole and I are going to go back. We're going to look. And so write down your media goal. What is that? So in order for you to get energetically aligned with what we're communicating about today, you have to claim something. You got to jump in the deep end, right? You're going to claim something because this is going to get you in alignment with understanding how to get energetic with what you want and even speaking what you want. Cole, I've had women in tears when I'm doing sometimes onboarding calls or just calls where they're getting to know who I am and how I work. And they're in tears because they don't know how to communicate what they want. Yeah. They can't get it out their mouth. Yeah. Right? It's confronting. And sometimes people don't even ask us, what do you really want? Right? You don't even have the safe space to have that conversation because you feel like what you really want is just not obtainable, or you have this mindset around it, or you think that they're going to tell you, no, you can't have it. We're here to tell you that through these tools, you can have it. So the first thing you got to do, though, you got to claim it. Yes. Write it down in the group. Let us see it. Right?
And you know what? Yeah, make sure you write it down, comment, all that. We need to see it so we can know where we can actually help and respond with you, where those, I like to say, rocks are that's holding you down. But the one thing I will say to extend what Nefertari has said, you know, nobody asks you what you want, because so many times, especially in society and the system, they're pretty much telling you what you should want.
So true.
So we get confused, especially as women, and if you're a mother as well, we get confused of the roles of what we wanted to do or dreamed of doing or inspired to do gets swept under the rug because people are telling us what we should want. And those are the traditions and the beliefs that we grew up with, and that's in your super subconscious. So when Nefertari makes these onboarding calls and women starts to cry, that's a release. That's a initiation of shifting, because it's a very serious question, as simple as it is, because it's like, damn, nobody ever asked me this.
It's true.
And it's like, I don't even know what I want because I've been told what I should want all these years. So really pull back and don't be shy and don't be resistant and don't be hard on yourself for not knowing.
Yes.
Don't be hard on yourself for not knowing. What this is about is really pulling out and really thinking, even if it was something when you were 12 or 13 that you always aspired to be or do, pull that little girl back up. This is what we're doing. And this is why the workbook is like this and fun and just colorful
and beautiful.
Yes. We want to get you back into that child state. This is what this is, because that's when you reshape and recreate and redesign what we're talking about.
I love that.
I'm long-winded today when I'm excited.
I love that. And look, what I want you to do right now, this is what we want you to do. We want you to get moving, you know, clap your hands, stomp your feet, and say your media goal out loud, right? Like, say it out loud. Don't dry board yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't be a wet mop in the corner. Really get excited.
Scream it.
Like, this thing is here, right? You are this. You are X, Y, and Z, period. There is no other when I get ready. You're already there. We're jumping into the body of the person that's already there. So it's almost like you're seeing yourself projected out and you're landing inside of that present moment right now. And so what helps you do that is movement and motion, because you're activating your energetic flow.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the second step to this. Say your media goal out loud. You wrote it down. So now you're claiming it, which is activating it in a different way. It's like Cole was just saying, the frequency, even our voice is a frequency, right? The movement is a frequency. And so we're forever moving, right? Even when we're still, our bodies are kinetically moving. They're not still. And so say it out loud. So let me know when you said it out loud. Put it in the comments. So say, I've said it out loud. I am ready, right? And so Cole, you want to read number 3? Can you see it?
Number 3, I am big on feeling. So feel your media goal. You want to breathe it, envision it, envision yourself as a river of media abundance, basically flow. So when you feel it, this is basically stepping into the feeling, like I talked about yesterday, about the feeling of falling in love. So the feeling of pretty much seeing yourself and what that feels like, the reward that you are just having, and the blessings that you're putting upon your audience just for that presence. So see yourself, whether it be a TV or a podcast or an interview, see yourself in that position and know what that feels like once you've completed the audition, the interview, whatever that is. And then you have a certain level of gratitude for self, and it builds your confidence up. So when you feel it, I mean, really, really feel it. Like I'm feeling the vibration now. Is that
I do too. Like I'm feeling like you breathe when you're doing this too.
You don't want to hold your breath. You want to definitely make sure you're breathing. And most times as yogis or whatever, you breathe in and out of your nose, and you want to control your breath. And I will say, when you start feeling, you get anxious, you get excited, you might get fearful.
Our dishes are feeling it. Did you
guys
even hear that?
I did. Yes. I'm like, there's nothing on the counter why that should have failed. So but oh my God, that's so funny. So because that's how passionate I am about feeling. I go with feelings and I move forward. If there's an inspired thought or something, I have to feel it through in order to initiate it or to continue or execute it. So when you're feeling, you really want to get into every cell, every touch,
the juice.
And the juices of it. I just can't, when
it's
somebody
so good. It should be good.
You know what I'll say? When that handsome guy or girl touch you, that you're attracted to, and you feel something energetically just go through your body, and it's like, ooh, okay. It's like butterflies. That's a feeling.
Yes, it is. And it should be good. You should be smiling, laughing, like let the emotion show up. Do not suppress anything right now, because we're taking you on a frequency ride.
Yes.
The frequency ride, it builds on top of each other. And so when you stay in that frequency, guess what? It shows up. It shows up. It doesn't have any other choice. That's what it's designed to do, right? Most of us don't really realize that. I just did an exercise like this with my youngest son, and he wanted to do some particular things with his father, not with his brother, not with me, not with grandma, not with anyone else. And I had him write it down. He accidentally left the list on the kitchen table when his dad got a hold of it. And he's like, "What is this, son?" And he's like, "Oh," because my son gets a little bit shy, I would say, around asking for what he wants. And he had 10 things. 2 of them they've already done together. And yesterday we were in the car together, and he's like, "Dad and I went bowling." And I said, "How did that make you feel?" He said, "I had so much fun." Because I asked him, I said, "Did you want anyone else to come?" He's like, "No." And I said, "So what did you learn?" He said, "When I write it down and I ask for it, I get what I want." Yeah. And I said, "You know what else, X?" I said, "When you believe it's going to happen."
Yes.
So powerful. Simplistic, yet powerful. Can you imagine if we learned these tools as children and someone was embedding this with us to where this is how you live life, right? And so that's what we're taking you back to. A few minutes ago, Cole talked about that little girl. Skip through the flowers right now. See yourself like floating in the unicorns and the clouds. Hug a Care Bear. Whatever you were into when you were a kid, touch your Cabbage Patch doll. Right? Like go there, because that is the pureness of who we are. That's the simplicity of this, right? Life makes complications, right? We get these things piled on, right? And we want to just take you back to that childlike state. Yes. We want to take you back to that belief system that is, I can write it down, I can speak it, and I can receive.
Do you
Cole talks
remember?
about you talk about receiving in a good way.
Yeah. And you know what?
You
You
really
just
do.
hit me home for a second. Do you recall when you were a child or when you see your children, they're fearless.
So true.
They're fearless. They go out and do whatever. You're like, no, 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 stop. You're going to hurt yourself.
Be careful.
So we're speaking into existence the fears, and it starts very early. You don't want them to wander off because they're going to hurt themselves. But they don't have nothing about fear. They're experimenting. They're, for the first time they see something, it's like, oh my God. And they have this feeling and they go, and that's the thing where, like, to tap into that just a little bit will take you to the next level and what that feeling should feel like. So every time you're in transition or there's something you want to reintroduce or approach with some type of I guess, intentions, you really want to get into the feeling. That's only how it's going to show up if you feel it. In writing, I will say, because you mentioned writing, I'm a writer. I've always written everything down and not typing, not texting, actually something about your hand creating every letter. It embeds in your head. So writing is always a connectivity to the future of what you want.
You know what? Writing is a contract with the universe in your life. You're contractually communicating through the pen.
Yeah.
Right? When you sign your name on an agreement, you're agreeing with what it is that you said that you want to create. And so that's why we started off with writing. When I say writing, you can type it, you can write it down on a piece of paper, you can write it down and put it in your Bible, in a journal. This is not just one time that you can write it, right? You can write it multiple times. But what we want you to understand is that it's already here, which is so key. We're holding it in a pattern. We're holding it because we're not in energetic alignment with it quite yet. Right? And so the next thing that we want you to go into is close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And I want you to visualize your life as you are living your media dream. Right? So take that deep breath in and you're going to visualize your life as you are living that media dream. Right? Where do you live? Right? What kind of car do you drive? What type of vacations are you taking? Right? What type of conversations are you having with your friends and your family? Are you sitting around a big dinner table, hosting parties? Right? Are you flying private? Are you flying on a jet? Whatever it is that you want to see happen from living that media dream, what does it look like? Right? And as you look and you see it into the future, you see yourself projected into the future, what does it feel like? Cole is so right. The feeling is so important. The seeing and the feeling, right? It literally, the body doesn't know the difference between if we're on national TV right now or if we're just talking to a group of amazing women in a private setting inside of a Facebook group, right? The body doesn't know, right? The way that we show up, we got dressed, we prepped, we communicated, we wrote out what we wanted to say so that we can prepare something excellent for you. And so that is where we want you to go. What does it look like? What does your life look like as you're living that media dream, right? And now we want to go into what media outlets do you want to attract, right? And Cole, you could cover a little bit about that. That'd be great.
If it's somebody that you want to, that you've been watching, or someone that you want to just meet or interview them, or they interview you, those are attractions that you should start writing down. Make a list. I remember when I was, like I said, I didn't plan to be a makeup artist.
Yeah.
But it fell into my lap. So I started looking at all the top music video directors that were constantly working in the videos that I liked. And I remember having this little small notebook, you know, the Mead notebooks, but it was a tiny one. And I wrote down every director, like 10 directors that I wanted to work with within the span of, like, I think it was like the month like, I gave myself like 60 to 90 days. And when I tell you it showed up, and each time I just scratched it off, I scratched it up, the director, and I end up actually working with these guys multiple times during that. So when you want to attract certain things, and it was just believing and leaving it alone. I actually wrote it down, visualized myself being on set, working on music videos with all these amazing artists and TV shows. And guess what? I just left it in there. And I didn't actually, this crazy thing, I didn't actually go back to it until like a year or two later.
I love that.
Like, I knew I had written it down, but I didn't know how many people that I wrote down. And when I went to clean my clean house and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
It's here.
And this was like maybe 20 years ago. So this is something that we've been practicing for years, for decades.
Yeah.
And really showing up, me being a single mom, a teenage single mom, and being a daughter of someone that was a drug user and abuser, and we lived in poverty and so forth and so on. I visualized as a kid what I wanted for my life.
Wow.
What I wanted for my life. When I think about it,
it's
I grew up in the projects in Chicago.
Yeah.
And we moved to the projects in Milwaukee.
Right.
So,
right.
Although I was a teenage mom and that everybody was like, you're not going to do this is going to happen. And that's the noise. A lot of family told me that I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't going to be anybody and this, that, and the other. I remember just all these bad things. And I just was like, shut up.
She probably really 16, did tell them
I was like, shut up.
She said that, I'm sure.
Get the hell out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. And when I tell you, I grabbed hold of my life and it's been ascending ever since then.
Right.
And so I'm, this is something that
living
we really,
testament.
And attract media. I think I was, I used to run track. So I was like, in a local newspaper and I saw myself as this. And then I started doing martial arts. So there was media attraction back when I was younger, and then just really honing in on that. And even just recently I was in Nylon, the French version of Nylon magazine. And that was something
such a great article,
something attract. And I had a whole hour interview. They had to translate it in French and then send me the English version, but it was amazing. And you want to attract that media. You want to not be shy. I keep saying, don't be shy, because I'm a little bit of an introvert.
This is true.
With this lady right here has been pushing me to just be present and be media,
and show up
and
share her gifts.
I tell you, I'm stubborn, so it took me a minute to really just hone in, because I never wanted to be in front of the scenes. I want to be the Einstein of the industry and so forth, but it really helps. And just to speak with you guys and some of my customers, and they're just like, we did a couple of tests when I'm talking, or I put a picture of myself with any media platform, what the response will be. So don't be shy.
Don't hide.
Don't hide.
Don't hide. Stop hiding.
Don't hide.
Right? If it's the photo shoot, go take one.
Yeah.
Go take some selfies. Go get a ring light. Whatever it is, just go do it.
And don't overthink it.
It's not just the little steps lead to the big wins, right? It really, really does. It leads to the big wins. Okay, so let's go to our next motion of movement. And so what we want to do is, you're thinking about right now the Forbes magazines, the Channel 5 News local in your area, Ebony magazine, The View, CNN. Where are you seeing yourself? Really put yourself there. You have the people interviewing you. You have the lights on you. You have the Zoom cast happening. Like, see yourself in the element. You have the journalists emailing you saying, I want to interview you for X, Y, and Z article as the expert that you are. The next thing that I want you to get into is the summons of them to come into your world, right? So you see it, you feel it, and then I want you to summons them to you. Like, literally imagine your energy pulling these media outlets toward you, right? You're pulling, you have like an energetic cord that's pulling them toward you. right? And they're coming with ease and flow. It's not difficult. If you see it difficult at first, even in my own mind, I was looking at something and it felt like it's difficult for me to draw them in. And then I said, wait a minute, I'm making it difficult. And so even right now, as I'm doing this exercise, look at how you are putting up a block that you're creating and make it simplistic, make it flow like that river we talked about earlier. Let it come to you, let it flow to you, right? It's showing up to you. They're in your inbox, they're in your cell phone, they're in your DM. They want to get to know you. They're messaging you on LinkedIn, right? People want to partner with you. They want to do six-figure business deals. What does this look like, right? Really feel it. If you're crying, that's fine. It can be emotional. Whatever the emotion is, let it happen. Don't hold it back because, like Cole was saying earlier, it's a release. It's a release. And so let this flow to you, right? Let it be real. Make it real. We make it real. We make it real. We say if it's not real, we say if it's gonna take 10 years. We make that up, right? We say it's gonna take a long time. We say all these strange things.
Or I have to prepare before I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet.
No, you're attracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know the most activity I get is when I'm preparing for something that I say that I want, and I'm not even in my mind, I'm getting prepared for X, Y, and Z, and then X, Y, and Z just shows up because I'm holding the space because I'm taking the steps to prepare for it to show up, right? And so that's what we're doing right now with you through this flow. You're preparing for it to show up energetically first. Then we're going to get into the alignment of the media. We're going to jump into that tomorrow. So make sure you're here with us because this is layered and it's so juicy. It's so good, right? And so the last thing that we're going to cover with you through today's communication is you are going to imagine yourself on the cover of the magazine of your dreams, the TV show of your dreams. And guess what? Your family is at home watching you on that show, right? So envision your family, your peers, the people you love. They're watching you on that show. They could be in the audience. See yourself on that magazine cover. See people holding that magazine article with you front and center, your picture looking like the baddest goddess ever, right? You got your outfit on. Everything is just how you would want it to be, right? I want you to see yourself having that writer, right? That journalist that you've always wanted to be interviewed by. They're contacting you via email saying they want to set up an interview with you today. They want to set it up today. They can't wait to interview you. They're so excited. And then I want you to really step into the space of the reality that you are a media manifestor. You are a media queen. And I want you to say this out loud with us right now. So you are a media manifestor. So I am a media manifestor. I am a media queen, right? You are a media expert, the most sought after media expert in your field. You're number one, right? You are number one. Your inbox in Facebook is filled with journalists, people wanting to do business deals with you. Your Instagram inbox is filled with journalists and people wanting to do interviews with you, producers, TV hosts of TV shows. Your emails, multiple media outlets are reaching out to you daily, weekly, monthly, consistently flowing to you with ease because you are a media queen, right? You are a media queen. You're the media expert that you've always wanted to be. Yes. And so as we come out of this transition, right? And you breathe in and you feel this and you see yourself going into this media queendom, Cole and I would like to invite you to our new program, and it's called the Media Queen. And the Media Queen is a 3-month program, okay? And you get lifetime access as we guide you through step-by-step video trainings. We're going to take you through a process for 3 months with ourselves and our team to help you manifest the media brand power that you know you've always wanted. This is 3 months access to us live with support. We also have Amy, who's going to be a part of that support team as well. And this is going to be a high vibe community, right? So amazing women. We're only taking 10 women. We already have 2 spots filled before we even launched the program. Literally, they paid. We were like, whoa. We're a bit like, and this is the thing, we talked about creating this, and then 2 women wanted to sign up right away, and they right instantly away. Paid. Like they were like, we don't even know if you have the schedule. I was like, I don't. Let me put the schedule together. They're like, do you know what the program is? I was like, I do, in my mind, in Cole's mind. We'll get back to you on that. And they're like, send me the link now. I'm paying anyway. Yes. Right. And so this is what we're talking about. The same alignment is what we're talking about. And so this is a 3-month process of really getting into everything you desire for your media brand. Mm-hmm. You're going to have support in a high vibe community, media attraction queens that are going to be rocking, right? And even though this program is new, honey, we are not new at this, right? So we are trained at how to get you where you want to go. We know how to get you the results. We are results based, and that's what we bring to the business. And so the TV media trainings, will have 3 of those. Those are 3 media sessions with video script development and content calendar creation. So we're actually going to help you develop your media content, your online video content, how you want to show up for the press, how to communicate with the press. And then we're also going to go into having your PR business trainings. And so how to communicate with the world as far as presenting yourself, having press kits, having media outlets want to write about your story, write about your brand. And we're going to do that through your media plan, partnerships, social influence, and your 2022 PR campaign, right? So we want to make sure you have a 2022 PR campaign launch. The next thing that we go into is your media branding trainings, right? And these 3 branding sessions will elevate your media brand, expand your visibility on media platforms. And one of the key people that is sitting right here next to me, she is the media brand trainer. And so Cole is an expert at branding. She's helped brand every company that I've had, actually, and all the companies that I work with. She works with me in all facets of life and with major brands. And so you're in great hands when you work with us when we're talking about these topics, okay? The next thing, which is really awesome, is we have guest experts. We're going to have 3 guest experts. These are not just regular folks. These are people who are on covers of like Vogue magazine. They're like journalists who are the owners of publications, and they're going to help you really hone in on what it takes to become a top media brand and how to get journalists to really get attracted to you. You know what I mean? And so this is super important, because it's one thing to have a thought about what should be happening, and it's another thing to communicate directly with the people who put you in the magazines, who put you on the television, right? And so the course is where you're going to get access to the Media Queen Quantum Leap into your media presence program. This experience is going to include your media brand's persona, video content, bio, press kit, headshots, and social media influence, where we actually go through your social media platforms. We make sure that you have a powerful LinkedIn page. We make sure that you have an amazing Facebook and Instagram. Those are our main focuses when it comes to the media, because those are what typically pop up in Google, right? So we're talking about Google ready. Yes. Right? How do you get Google ready? Well, we help you do that. And what we also are going to do for those who pay in full and do that while we're in the launch, we actually start the program on January 10th. So it's Monday, January 10th, where we begin. 10 ladies only. We already have 2 spots left. So we have 8 spots available. And trust me, these will sell out. They will sell out, no doubt, because we're just in the flow of it, and it's going to be effortless. Okay. And so we are talking about bonus breakthrough, which is your one-on-one session with our team. And this is going to help you to stop playing it small. So we're going to be reprogramming your thoughts and belief systems. And we'll be really going into that subconscious, right? So we're going to cover past events, traumas, anything that's been going on in your life that you want to just clean out so that we can really have you be fully present. You'll be able to create a world where you walk into divine wealth, abundant lifestyle, and media legacy, right? So we talked about building that media legacy. And so this program for the 3-month program is going to be $4,500. And so we are doing multiple options as far as payment. And that payment is going to be where you can split the payment, and you can also do a monthly payment. But if you want the one-on-one bonus, no more playing a small call, then you're going to need to pay in full. Okay. And so we'll be dropping that link right now. And so I will make sure that Amy has that link. And how have you been feeling about this, right? Have you been enjoying this content? Give me some yeses, right? Have you been going into the flow? Have you been loving what we've been sharing with you? Give me some yeses, give me some yeses, and give me some hearts, right? Give us some thumbs up. Let us know how you've been feeling about this. And let us know if you're ready to really take your brand to the next level and really get where you want to go with your media presence and really get where you want to go with just shedding away any of the doubts, any of the fears, right? Then let us know right now that you're ready to jump in. We are also setting up calls. You'll have calls with myself or Cole. If you have any questions, that's fine. You can totally reach out and let us know. We are also having support calls with Amy, who is here with us. And Amy is definitely here to answer any of your questions, right? So you can jump on a call with Amy. She's on our team. She has all the questions here. And I'll actually drop the group, the link right now so that you can have that as well. Okay. And if you have any questions for us, we're so excited to work with you and be here with you and experience this wonderful, wonderful flow and energy with you. And then I want to ask Cole, do you have anything else to say before we close out?
I would say definitely comment, let us know how you feel, what everything, and are you ready? Be ready, fall in. How was today's session? Yesterday, how did you walk away feeling? Did you fall in? Were there some doubts? Did you feel like there was something lacking that you need to address? Anything that you feel that, this is what the Media Queendom will take you through, a little bit more of a introduction, intensive training and coaching to get you there, what we're just talking about with the laws of becoming, the principles of prosperity, and also the media alignment. And that's pretty much it. If you guys, I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Are you? Yeah. And you're ready. You know what I mean? I think that when we step into our powerful now, right? And we say we are ready for everything that is for us, right? It's already here. It's already for us, right? You just got to believe it. And we're going to help you shape that. We're going to guide you through that. And we'll talk more about it tomorrow.
Yes.
And let me not forget, you need to be here tomorrow with us because we have a 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time session where we're going into the media alignment, right? The media alignment. So we talked about the principles of prosperity today. We talked about the laws of becoming, and now we're going to get in alignment with the media, right? The media that we want to attract, the media of our dreams. And I dropped in the comments below where you will get the link to the Media Queen. So, and Amy's here to support you. We're all here to support you. So just make sure that you don't hide, you don't play small. I see quite a few of my clients that are in here right now that are like, it's worth it, 200%, so they have worked with us for over a year, many of our clients. And so just know that you're in good hands. We're excited to work with you. Jump on in. The link is there. We'll be sharing the link more, but we are only with 8 spots left. So just make sure you jump in because we're doing this in small group. Okay. We're doing it in small groups so that you can get a major impact and you can have a lot of amazing results. Okay. And so we're going to hop off now. We're exactly at 11:02.
Awesome.
And I'm excited about tomorrow. So make sure that you're here. If you have any friends or women in business that you think would be great for this, even executive women, coaches, mentors, pop them into the group, send them the link to register, because we love to have them inside of our community. Okay. All right. So we'll talk to you all tomorrow, and jump in.
And don't forget to do your assignment.
Do your assignments. Jump in, right? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to jump in, right? Even if you're afraid while you jump in, just do it anyway.
Yeah, just do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, totally. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the key. And we'll see you tomorrow. And we're excited to welcome all the amazing ladies who are going to join the Media Queen, right? This is your time. It's right now. And this program is built and designed for you. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.